I'm Rachel Amos, and today I'll be talking about genetically modified foods and if they're safe for human consumption or not. As people are always going to be in disagreements over multiple topics, controversy is always going to be everywhere. Genetically modified foods are one of those things that are always going to be in controversy, as people never can agree if they're safe or not safe for human consumption. Today I will be talking about the background, some history, and both perspectives of genetically modified foods, of whether they're safe or not safe for human consumption. So a little bit on the background. What is a genetically modified food? Genetically modified means that desired genes from one product are implanted into another product by scientists in the lab. This is according to Pham and Mandel in 2019. So why do people genetically modify their foods? Well, one reason is it could have an increased nutritional value, or it may increase the shelf life of the products, making it last longer before consumers eat it. Another reason is to allow it to be resistant to viruses and to increase hardiness of the seeds out in the fields for people in the agricultural industry. According to Bawa and Anil Kumar in 2012, some history on the genetically modified foods is that it was first came across in 1946 by scientists working in a lab. They discovered that they were able to transfer genes from one product to another. The United States had its first cleared product by the Food and Drug Administration in 1994. So many people think this is a newer topic, as technology is just now advanced, but it's been around since 1946. The first product in the US that was cleared was called the Flavor Saver tomato, which was made to ripen slower once it was picked off the vines, so consumers had longer time before they could eat it. The United States was not the only country to increase during this time, but by 2011 it led across the world in the number of genetically modified crops being commercialized. So the regulation process for genetically modified foods is pretty simple. There's three regulation companies that will deal with the products before they are sold to consumers. According to Pham and Mandel in 2019, the first one is the Food and Drug Administration, which goes by the FDA, and it deals with the safety of the product, so they test it to make sure it's safe for consumers. The second one is the United States Department of Agriculture, or the USDA. Its Animal and Plant Health branch works a lot with pesticides, making sure they are safe for human consumption if they were to be ate. And the last one is the Environmental Protection Agency, which focuses in on the safety of certain pesticides used in genetically modified foods to make sure they are safe for anyone consuming them. So now I will talk about the first perspective, which is people who believe that genetically modified foods are not safe for human consumption. There are many reasons why someone may not think that they are safe. The first reason is modified genes have more uses than they're originally made for, so when scientists put one gene from one product into another product, they may think that the gene that they put it in there for is causing the certain trait, but since they're modifying the product, it may cause multiple other things that they are unknown of once it's in the body. The second is the proteins in genetically modified foods are not meant to be in the body, so a lot of them will not be broken down in the human gut, which may cause digestive issues in people who consume them. Third one is antibiotic resistance, since a lot of the products are modified to be resistant to antibiotics and things such as pesticides and herbicides, that if enough of it is consumed in the body, a person's gut may also become antibiotic resistant, allowing them to be sick more often, or their medications may not work. According to Carmen and Parletta in 2017, A lot of things in genetically modified foods are not naturally found in the body, so therefore they are not meant to be consumed, and that is why a lot of people believe that they are unsafe to be consumed because they are not naturally occurring in the body. And according to Healy in 2016, some consumers who eat genetically modified foods may develop new allergic reactions or allergic reactions to something that they did not know is in the product. For example, if a soybean was crossed with a certain kind of nut but the nut was not supposed to be in the soybean product, then someone eating a soybean product may become allergic to the soybeans because there's a trace amount of nut in the product they did not know of, and this could be severe if they have a bad enough allergic reaction, or just could cause them to be allergic to more things than they thought they were. The second perspective is people who believe that genetically modified foods are safe for human consumption, and there are multiple reasons that people may think they are safe. The first reason is more on the agricultural side, as genetically modified organisms and foods make plants and crops more hardy, so this means that the seeds and the plants will be more stable in drought, more stable in excess water, and they will be less susceptible to fungus and other things that may kill the plant before it grows enough to produce crops. According to Healy in 2016, genetically modified foods may also have an increased nutritional content. This could include increased vitamins, increased minerals, just so that when someone eats something, they're getting more than what it would originally have given them. This could benefit someone who's lacking in certain vitamins to make them more healthy. A lot of people also believe that since the genetically modified foods are already regulated by those three, the FDA, the USDA, and the Environmental Protection Agency, they just believe that if they're already regulated by them, that they don't need to worry about it being unsafe. So they just think that the companies did their good enough job and that they don't need to worry about it themselves. And lastly is an act that was made by McFadden and last in 2018, the National Bioengineered Food Disclosure Standard made it mandatory for all companies with genetically modified foods to have everything that's in the product on the label within 2 years of it being commercialized. So this way consumers would know exactly what they're consuming, if it was modified or not, and they would have the stamp saying if it's bioengineered or not. So now I'll give a little bit about my opinion on the topic. I feel that genetically modified foods are unsafe for human consumption, as a lot of the things in the products are not naturally found in the body, not meant to be consumed, therefore we should probably not be consuming them. But I also truly see the benefits to farmers on the agricultural side of genetically modified foods. A lot of times if they don't have the modified seeds, they will not get the proper yield, and therefore they will not make enough money. With that being said, I do think that they are unhealthy, but I do see the benefit of farmers. But I do not try to avoid genetically modified foods. I just eat things that I enjoy, and I don't think that I will ever try to cut out all genetically modified foods in my diet. But I do feel that there could be some consequences later in life by eating a lot of them. So to sum it all up, genetically modified foods will remain a controversy for a long time. There is clear arguments for both why people think they are unsafe for consumption and why people think that they are safe for consumption. Yes, genetically modified foods are regulated by the three agencies, but that doesn't always mean that they won't produce unknown effects in humans once they're consumed later on in life. They will always remain a controversy, as there isn't really a clear answer to which side wins in the situation. Just with most controversies, it will probably remain for a long time. Whether they are right or wrong, it basically depends off of someone's beliefs, and I will think that depending on if you think that they are safe or unsafe is how you can determine if you should consume genetically modified foods or not. And these are the references I mentioned throughout the presentation. Thank you.